Hello, everyone. This is my presentation for data analysis. So for my presentation and my research question, I wanted to test if there was a difference in preparedness for data analysis and understanding statistical terms based on if the participant took their research methods course in person, online, or like a asynchronous through Zoom. My hypothesis was that I believe that participants who took their research methods course in person or asynchronous at their campus had a better understanding of statistics and a stronger sense of preparedness for themselves when they took data analysis. So my independent variable is how do participants participate in their research methods course. So either face-to-face, online, or asynchronous, which is typically through Zoom. And my dependent variable that I'm testing is participants' success, preparedness, and understanding of analyzing data. So I had quite a few limitations here. I had a small population of only 13 participants. And one thing that I wish I had done, I wish I asked participants their gender, which I did not, because that didn't cross my mind when I was coming up with demographic questions. Not that it matters now. I'm not really testing differences based on gender, so no harm done. Also, I didn't realize that the majority of the participants did not take their research methods course yet prior to taking data analysis. I soon realized that 7 participants did not take their research methods course. 3 participants took it online and 3 participants participated in it through online, through Zoom and such. So here I included the data descriptive statistics, and I mostly did this because I need the skewness and kurtosis to identify if the assumptions were met and if they have normality. And I also did this because we need the mean when writing up the results. So for the frequencies, I did frequencies for all the questions that I asked, so I had a good sense of everyone's answers. So the first question I asked is, did you take research methods yet? And 7 of these participants said no, and 6 said yes. So that's about 50% and 42.9%. Then I asked, how did you take and participate in your research methods class, which we know that's a key question in our research that we're doing today. So 7 did not attend, which is about 50%. Then we have a split of 21.4% on online and asynchronous. Then I asked, how prepared do you feel for your data analysis course? And I did this on a Likert scale, starting from strongly disagree to strongly agree. So strongly disagree is 1 and disagree is 2, and then 3 and 4, so on and so on. So 46% of participants did feel like they were prepared for data analysis, which I thought was pretty good. Then we go down to, I asked, how prepared do you feel doing your homework assignments each week? And we had split responses at 35.7%. One group did feel prepared each week, and the other 35.7% did not feel prepared. Then we move on. I asked, how confident do you feel in using SPSS on your own? 46.2% did feel confident in working with SPSS. Then I asked, which is the key variable in our research today, how confident do you feel about understanding statistical terms? And 46.2% said they agree that they feel confident in understanding what they're actually inputting into SPSS and doing the terms that they are taught. Then I asked, how confident are your APA writing skills when writing results? 53.8% feel confident in writing the result in APA format. Then we go to the demographic questions are starting. And I asked, how many classes are you taking in summer one? And 69.2% of participants are taking 2 classes, which we all know, since we've been attending here, that is the recommended amount since our semesters are 8 weeks. So then I asked, what campus do you attend? And the majority answered online, which is 57.1%. This includes myself. That's part of where this research method question came from, because I feel that asynchronous classes are more beneficial than just traditional online, but that's just how I feel. But that's why I wanted to conduct this research. Then I asked, how many hours do you spend studying for this course? And the answers were split from 28.6%. Half of these, majority, study 8 to 10 hours a week or 3 to 5 hours a week. Then we go on to current age. The majority of this class is 30 to 40 years old at 64.3%. And I went down and I asked the relationship status as well. Majority of participants' relationship status is 42.9%. So then I decided to run a factorial ANOVA on my test, my research question, because I have 2 dependent variables, but that wasn't the only reason. I was actually having trouble with a t-test. It was saying that my groups were blank and it was not giving me any output. So I switched to a factorial ANOVA. So first thing we want to do before running anything else, we want to check the assumptions. So there's 3 ways to do that. So first we want to check the histogram, which the histogram, for it being a small population, it actually looks pretty okay. There's 1 peak here, which that's what we want, is only one peak. We don't want multiple peaks, so that's a good sign. Then we go to our quality of variance, and we want the significance to be higher than 0.05, and we see here that it is, so it meets that assumption. And then last thing we want to check is the skewness and kurtosis, and we want that to be between -1 and +1. So here in understanding stats, we have a skewness of 0.616, which is between that where we want it to be. Then we go to preparedness for data analysis, and then we have a -0.386, which is also in a good standing point. And then we have kurtosis, which is -0.443, which is also good. The only problem we have here is kurtosis for understanding stats, which is 1.19, which is not where we want it to be. So because this doesn't meet the assumptions, it's all or nothing, so it does not meet assumptions. So then we have to focus on the means in our results, which I will show you that I did that later on. So for the factorial ANOVA, I included the between subject factors, which just tells us the responses that the participants gave. I included the 2K, which we later find out that that is not needed, and I will tell you why in a second. And then I have the descriptive statistics once again, just to make sure there isn't any issues with our data. And then this is how we get the results. And this is also how I knew that the 2K wasn't needed, because our F right here is not significant. So we see that nothing here is significant that we need. So this is how I write up my results, by using this chart right here. Also, we don't really need this, but I included it because I'm not running too many dependent variables, so we don't need to cross-check. But if I was using the confidence interval in this, I would see that for most of these answers, they vary between here. So this tells us how they attended their research methods class. So my research is not significant, I know from here, because my p-value for my people's participation in research methods is 0.457, which is way above where I want it to be, which is 0.05 to be significant. And for understanding statistics, it's my p-value is 0.730, which is again above way where I want it to be, unfortunately. So we move on, and our plot points also show us that there is no significance because they don't cross whatsoever. So here, between participation in research methods and understanding statistics, there is no correlation of if doing so will benefit a participant's outcome. There's a slight correlation that may be here that shows there could be a relationship between preparedness and understanding statistics right here. But once again, my population isn't big enough to truly understand if there is or not. So here are my results that I written up in APA format. The results of my factorial ANOVA indicate there was no significant difference between participants' level of preparedness for data analysis and the method of participation of the participants who chose how they chose to take their research methods class. And then I wrote my results here, which we see, and then I included my my mean because of my F value not being significant as well, and my assumptions not being met. And then I also said, as for a method of participation in research methods and understanding statistics, there was no significant difference also, and then I included this as well. Lastly, the interaction between participation and understanding statistics, so that's it together. When writing my factorial ANOVA, there was also not a significant difference, so that means there is no interaction between the two variables, and I also included the mean. So in conclusion, I just wanted to say my research didn't go as far as I wanted to because of the limitations and the small population. I would like to test my hypothesis again with a bigger population because I believe if done successfully, I will be able to find significant findings. So what I mean by this, I think if I did it with multiple classes in a bigger university, such as main campus at Azusa, or even a Cal State or a UC, I may be able to find more um, findings that would better tell me if we should provide tell like if we should provide data analysis before taking research methods or vice versa, or even is asynchronous classes just as beneficial as in person, or is it all just beneficial, and it just depends on how the student enjoys to learn. So I thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation, and that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.